I'm gonna say a bold statement, but I truly believe this is the key to manifesting anything that you want, and that is believing in yourself, like fully, truly, wholeheartedly believing in yourself, believing you can do it no matter what, and that you're gonna make it happen no matter what. And being open to it coming from different avenues, but knowing that at the end of the day, you believe in you, even if other people don't believe in you. Hear me out. I just had a very rough's not the word I want to use, a very tough, like, afternoon. It's 2 p.m. and I guess it started around 1. I guess a tough hour and 20 minutes. Basically, without getting too personal, I'm dealing with some financial issues in my life, and it's something I've known about for a while, something I've been dealing with for a while, but I've been avoiding it like the plague. Literally. The crazy thing is, what you resist persists. So whatever you avoid, it's gonna come back around. And I've been resisting dealing with this situation for, I want to say, almost 3 years. It's been coming back around, but it's finally like hit its peak and I have to deal with it. Literally, I never pray, but I've been literally like praying to the universe, feeding myself with all these thoughts like, I could do it, I could do it, I got this. And no matter what happens, I'm gonna figure this out. This is literally the words I keep telling myself. No matter what happens, I'm gonna figure this out. Everything is happening for me, not to me, so whatever happens, I'll be good. So this situation sort of just blew up in my face, I want to say like an hour ago. But I had found what I thought might be a solution, and I was dealing with another person involved who's a close family member. They had their own solution, so when I presented my solution, they were like, no. It almost could have turned into a like yelling argument fight, but because of my therapy skills and being so strong in my beliefs and knowing that what you resist only makes things worse. So if I were to like get defensive and freak out, that would just drain me of energy, and I wouldn't have been able to film this video today, which on my list of things to do that I really truly want to do is get a video done today, which will only help me and my finances in the future, is working. And this is the chosen work that I want to be doing. So I thought about all of this in my head, and I know that deep down things are happening for me, not to me. So even though this was an upsetting situation and the emotions that were coming up were sadness and tears, I was like, I'm not going to battle my family member on this situation. I'm going to accept what it is and not resist it, and keep believing in myself, in the universe, that there's a plan for me, that I will figure this out, or something will happen to figure this out. And next thing you know, I leave the situation, I go my separate way, my family member goes their separate way. I'm still like trying to process the emotions, and then we have a discussion, and they found a compromise that we could work with that is much better than what was originally going to happen. Without getting into details, because I didn't break down, I didn't say, oh, F this, I'm gonna throw the whole day away, I'm not gonna film my video, I'm just gonna sit here, cry, which is fine. Like, sometimes you do have to just sit and cry. I told myself, no, I'm gonna film this video. If I need to still cry, I'll cry when I'm done the video. Literally, like, we're going to do the things that we know we need to do to propel ourselves into the place that we want to be. Like, I'm not gonna self-sabotage because I'm feeling an emotion right now that is really strong. It's like, I'm gonna feel the emotion, but I'm still gonna do what I need to do. And when I'm done doing what I need to do, filming the video, if I need to still feel that emotion, I will let myself feel that emotion. You have to let yourself feel and process your emotions, or they're gonna come up and manifest in a lot more unhealthy, toxic ways later. So I'm aware of that. I made a little deal with myself on that. And right before it came time to film this video, my family member presented me with the compromise. I took it in, it got a little emotional again, and then I processed it, and I was like, oh yeah, I can get behind that. That's much better than originally what we were going to have to do with this financial situation. So this is why I say you really have to trust and believe in yourself and in the larger plan of the universe, because, or God, you know, like whatever you believe in, the higher powers that be, you really have to believe in you, and you have to believe in that, and you have to believe that things are going to work out. And if you're at that place where like you don't have a solution, you don't have an answer, you don't know if things are going to work out because you don't have the solution to how it will work out, you have to believe that it will come to you when it is meant to, which is so hard. It's so hard to trust in yourself to come up with that solution, and it's so hard to trust that like the powers that be are on your side to bring you that solution. It's funny because I always considered myself like a spiritual person, but over the past, I want to say 3-ish years, I've been going through some of the roughest personal stuff of my life, and I really lost a lot of belief, especially in myself, as well as like the universe and God and like the powers that be to have my back. And in the past, I want to say few weeks, month, give or take, whatever, I've really been going back to the fact that I can manifest my dreams. I am an amazing person that deserves whatever they want and desire, and that I should believe in myself because I do have the power to make these things happen with my mindset, my emotions, my behaviors, and my habits and routines. And those are the only things you really can control. You can't control anybody else, can't control the outside forces, but what it comes back to is you can control yourself. You can't always control your thoughts. Thoughts will come and go, but you can control how you perceive them. You can control what you believe. You can change your beliefs. You can't control your emotions. You're gonna feel whatever you're gonna feel, but you can control how you react to your emotions and how you process them. So yes, you can't always control exactly what you're gonna think at every moment, but you can do certain practices to clean up your thoughts so that way you have better thoughts. And when you have better thoughts, you have better emotions, because a lot of times we emotionally react to our thoughts. And I've been doing the inner work for the past 2 years. I've finally really gotten to a place where I'm actually seeing the results of me doing the inner work. I haven't outwardly manifested all of my physical goals yet. I feel like I'm actually ready to do so now, whereas before I felt like, oh, I'm wishfully thinking. Now I feel like all the inner work I've done the past 2 years is finally like manifesting within me and paying off, and now I feel like I can actually manifest outwardly into the 3D world because I've cleaned up so much of my internal mess. I know this video is all over the place. I typically script my videos. I was gonna do one of the videos that I scripted on my iPad for us because I scripted 2 really good videos that I want you guys to watch next when I post them. But this video is just like off the top of my brain because I went through something that I felt like was relevant to this channel. But you're just getting what you're getting, and I hope you're enjoying it. Everybody talks about inner work and how important it is, and I can do a whole nother video on inner work, but inner work is at least what I think of it, because I really didn't even know what it was before I even started doing it. I just heard people talk about it and I'm like, okay, think positive thoughts, don't act out, I don't know. But the thing about it is, like, when you haven't done the inner work yet, most of your responses are actually just emotional reactions to situations. If somebody triggers you, boom, emotional reaction, it'll set you back. Something else triggers you, boom, emotional reaction, sets you back. And then once you're set back, you're gonna not want to feel all these uncomfortable, painful emotions. You'll probably do something to cope, which will become a bad habit and a coping mechanism. I mean, it could be a positive habit, but typically when people are trying to cope, they're looking for something that feels good, of instant gratification. So that could be anything from like eating junk food to drinking alcoholic beverages to smoking to watching Netflix to going to other people to entertain them or escape. A coping mechanism is just any way of escaping the uncomfortable reality that you don't want to face. But when you start doing the inner work, you start actually facing your triggers, the uncomfortable emotions, the things you've been hiding from by coping, and you start to heal them, and you start to realize like how your emotions cause your actions, which lead to your manifestations. Then you can consciously start changing them. Here's an example. Let's say your boss is kind of yelling at you when they're talking, and your emotional reaction is to start to yell back. But you know it could get you possibly fired from your job. I mean, this is such a literal basic example, and most people won't react by yelling back at their boss. But let's just say you're in such a heightened emotional state that you do yell back at your boss and you get fired. And then you start coping by watching too much Netflix because now you have all this extra time on your hands. That could have easily been avoided if you were able to emotionally regulate, which is something you learn through doing inner work. It could be exercises to self-soothe, like breathing. It could be just taking a step back, a pause, walking away from the situation, taking deep breaths, thinking about it rationally, and then coming back to the situation. It could be anything. I've gone through a lot of therapy to learn these skills to do so, but you can learn this inner work through watching more YouTube videos, reading books, I highly recommend therapy, but there's also people that do coaching. You could do shadow work. There's millions of avenues to get there and do the inner work. But what helped me the most was doing therapy. Through therapy, I learned how to emotionally regulate. So not just reacting based off of emotion. I can take a second, think like what would be the most effective way to react in this situation. Ideally not yell back at my boss if I want to quit my job. Like, let me use my wise mind and think about it. Let me not just react off of emotion. Let me process this. And like, if I still want to quit the job when I'm calm, cool. But if I'm not calm and I'm getting fired, that's another story. So it's really important to emotionally regulate, because then you can really control your reactions and your actions in any situation and avoid a self-sabotage moment. Recently, I've been doing that a bit with caffeine. I have a bit of a caffeine dependency. I don't want to say addiction, but I definitely have a caffeine dependency, and I've been working the past 2 weeks on that. At first, it was kind of subconscious, but now I'm consciously working on that caffeine dependency, because I don't want to feel like I have to drink a caffeinated beverage every day. I want it to be like a nice little fun treat once or twice a week. That's an emotional urge that I get, that I have to talk myself through every time until I make it a habit that I don't need caffeine all the time. Caffeine's addictive AF, and it's so good. And I literally talked myself out of it today. I was like, no, we're gonna get all of our work done and we're gonna be so proud of ourselves. And tomorrow we're gonna do all of our morning work, and then we're gonna get a caffeine as a reward for not getting caffeine every day this week and doing my work. I think it is good to reward yourself for doing the things you know that you should be doing that will benefit you in the long term. I think it's nice to give yourself a little present for being awesome and like pushing yourself in positive directions that you know your future you is gonna thank you for. I'm gonna thank myself tomorrow when I go get my caffeinated beverage, because I didn't go and do it today, so I can enjoy it tomorrow. And I'm not gonna feel guilty, because I'm not gonna be like, ugh, I'm literally getting a caffeine every day, because I got a caffeine yesterday. By caffeine, I mean matcha, and tomorrow I'm gonna get a coffee. But I don't want to do that every day. It's also expensive, and we were talking about my financial issues. So there's a lot of reasons why I don't want to get a caffeinated beverage every day. I mean, the ones I drink, there's a lot of sugar. They cost money. It takes like 30 minutes out of my day to drive to the coffee shop, drive back. Gas also costs money. So by me using it as a reward for solid work effort, then I'm not feeling like, oh, Julia, what are you doing? Are you just getting this caffeine to escape the negative feelings of whatever? That's just another example of how emotionally regulating can lead you to make better decisions. Therefore, you have better actions, which then lead to better habits and a better life. And that's all that we're trying to do, is live our best lives. So moral of the story, the thoughts and the beliefs that you have about yourself matter, and they will manifest through your thoughts, emotions, actions, reactions. So you have to do the inner work to clean up your limiting inner beliefs. The only thing you truly have control of, your mindset, your reactions, your actions, and your habits. So if you can control those, it's gonna lead you to a better life. It's gonna open the door for you to have the best manifestations that you could possibly have by staying in integrity, sticking to your values, and acting from a wise-minded headspace. Wait, I forgot one last step in the manifesting keys, and that is gratitude. And not just being grateful for everything that comes to you, but being grateful for yourself and every positive win that you have. And what I mean by this is, like, let's say you don't emotionally react to something. Positive win. Be grateful for yourself for not emotionally reacting. So not yelling back at the boss who's yelling at you, not going and getting the caffeinated beverage when you get the urge to. Those little things, I mean, the boss situation, you know, it's like a bigger thing. Being grateful for yourself for doing the inner work is everything. That's how you show yourself you believe in you, is by being grateful for yourself for doing the inner work to get there. And when you do mess up, not being hard on yourself, being kind and speaking nicely to yourself and being like, hey, we emotionally react a little bit here. That's okay. Next time, we'll do it this way. All this stuff is not linear. You're gonna take 2 steps forward and then you're gonna take 1 step back. You're gonna take 5 steps forward and then maybe you're gonna take 6 steps back. But like, you're gonna keep going and you're gonna keep taking the steps forward that you need to get there, and you have to give yourself grace. Forgive yourself for any mistakes you make along the way. Speak nicely to yourself and be grateful for your small wins. emotions. I'm so grateful for not feeding into my negative thoughts and having a extreme emotional reaction. Yes, tears ran down my face because I was sad and my body was just reacting, but I didn't go and start an argument and fight and yell, make the situation way worse than it ever needed to be. So I'm grateful for literally pausing, using my stop skill from DBT, and just allowing what needed to happen, allowing my emotions to flow through me, stay in a non-resistant state, not get defensive. But overall, I am so grateful for how far I've come on my inner work journey and my healing journey. It's crazy. Because a year ago today, not even a year ago, like even over the summer, I would not have been able to handle this situation as well as I did, or any situations that I've had to handle in the past like month or two. I don't think I would have been able to use my skills as well as I am right now. And I know I've come so far, and I'm so grateful for how far I've literally progressed. And I know I have so much more to go, but I'm excited about it because I know I can do it and I believe in myself. And the more you do it, the more you prove to yourself that you can do it, and the more you believe in yourself because of it. It doesn't matter how many times you failed or messed up. What matters is the bounce back. And I think the way you know you're getting more conscious and you're really growing internally, at least for me, I feel like the way I can tell that I have grown is from the bounce back. So what I mean by this is, like, let's say I have an emotional reaction, or let's say I'm just feeling really strong emotions. The time it takes for me to bounce back to neutral and be able to like carry on my day, like film a video like this, versus how much time I would need to get back to being able to have a normal day and film a video like this, is how I see the growth. Because maybe over the summer I would have needed like an entire day to get back to neutral to be able to do a video like this again after a situation like earlier. But this time I only needed like 5-10 minutes, and I'm still doing this video. I'm still getting everything I need to get done today done. Whereas honestly, I want to say like 3 years ago, I probably would have needed a week. I would have been like, no, now I'm going to coping mode and I will not get back to neutral for 5 to 7 business days. Honestly, like, yeah, when it comes to filming, probably would have taken me 5 to 7 business days to be able to film a video again after feeling so low about myself for a second. But I didn't let myself really get there. I just felt the emotion. I didn't let the thoughts, the limiting belief thoughts, come in because I've dealt with them so much that like I know they're there, but I don't need to believe them. I know exactly what I need to do to get where I want to go, so why would I not do what I need to do to get where I want to go? Why would I stop myself? I know how to emotionally regulate, so I can get back to doing what I'm wanting to do. Oh my god, I just remembered something else. We're off the tripod. I just keep adding to this because, like I told you, when I was talking about the bounce back thing, that is emotional maturity. I didn't have the right word for it, but what I was trying to say is I'm so grateful for my emotional maturity. And no, I am not the most emotionally mature person in the world, but I'm finally learning how to be emotionally mature. I had no idea how to do that at all in the past. We should literally be learning this from like the time we're born. Why is that not a thing? Leave a comment down below letting me know what you're grateful for, and if nobody has told you this today, I believe in you. You're gonna make your dreams happen, and I know you are because you're watching this video, and I am sending you positive energy through the camera. Manifestation energy. Believe in yourself. I love you. See you next time. Bye.